Hey guys, and welcome to yet another speed build. Yes, I haven't had a proper speed build in like over a month, and now 2 in a week. I know, killing it. Anyway, so in case this is the first video you've ever watched of mine, hi, I'm Harry, and I build quite a bit in The Sims. So I do CC builds most of the time, but also once a month I like to chuck a CC free build in there just for good measure. It means that I know what there is in the catalogue, which is always surprising. Every CC build I do, including this one, I find something new that I never knew existed and that I'm in love with. So when we get to it in this build, I will let you know what it is. Until then, so I suppose I should run down what this collab is all about, as you can see from the thumbnail and everything. So this collab was set up by Pineapple. She organised for, how many is there? 6 of us, that's it. 6 of us to each do a different townhouse from around the world. So 2 weeks ago, it started off with Pineapple doing a Polish townhouse, which you can see there on the right hand side, that furthest one. And so I will link her video with an I and down below in the description box. Then we moved on to Colourful Sims, and Dana did this beautiful German Tudor townhouse, which looks just so cute. It's like, you just, if you could, if it was a person, you just want to pinch its cheeks. It looks that cute from the outside. And then, of course, this week we have mine, which is a New York townhouse. And then next Saturday, a whole week from now, is going to be Spring Sims. And Stephen is going to be doing a London townhouse. Well, let's say I'm slightly biased towards the London townhouse, considering that I live in London. But, you know. Then the week after that, we have Freezer Bunny, and he is going to be doing a Japanese townhouse, which are super duper, like, ultra modern, and I'm a little bit in love with them. Well, more than a little bit, a lot. And then it will be complete with the 6th builder, which will be Irrelevant Sims, and she will be doing a San Francisco townhouse. Now, another townhouse that I'm obsessed with, and I will be finally getting to visit San Francisco later in the year, and I will be taking pictures. And I'm visiting my friend that lives in, I think she lives like just outside San Francisco, and she says she lives in a townhouse now. She moved from an apartment to a townhouse, and I'm like, oh my god. So I'm gonna get to stay in a San Francisco townhouse, and I'm gonna literally die when I get there. So that is the roundup of everyone that is doing this collab, and I was so honoured to be asked to do the collab. This is the first collab that I have actually put out on the channel. I have a couple more to come, but this is the first one that's actually gone out, and I'm just happy with it. And I've babbled on, and I have no idea what I'm doing in this build, but let's start talking about the build. So a common theme with lots of my builds is that, you know, business in the front, pie in the back. So that's what we went with this time. You know, I wanted to make it look like it was a Brooklyn townhouse, so a little bit more grungy, and, you know, the whole I haven't tried, but I really have tried, and that kind of look. You know, you have one of those friends that is always effortlessly put together, like they always look like on point, so trendy, you know that, and then you ask them, oh, where did you get that from? They're like, oh, I don't even know, it's like from 5 seasons ago, and you know, I just chucked it on, this was the only thing that was clean. Yeah, so it's a really weird explanation for the interior, but yeah, it is. And of course, at the moment, I'm going through my eclectic phase, and I don't know what's come over me, but every house seems to be eclectic, and I don't know why, but I'm loving it at the moment. It's the total polar opposite of my life, because I'm not eclectic at all in real life, and yeah, pretty boring. Well, to be honest, my whole entire room is IKEA. I live for IKEA. everything IKEA, just give me IKEA. And so it's the total opposite of this. But let me just say, the struggle is real with windows in this game. I had the whole idea of having this like grungy brick and then black windows and door. Could I find black windows and doors that went together? No. So I thought I'd leave in this struggle just so you know that the struggle is real. And as you can see there, we have flashed forward by the power of editing, and I have all the windows in. Well, you may think all the windows are in. No, they're not, because I changed my mind again. Can I just say, dear EA, this is a personal plea. Like, it's a letter of pleas. Those windows are gorgeous. Like, hands down gorgeous. Would match the aesthetic I was going for completely if they were actually black. Why are they navy blue? Like, look at it. Look at the difference. And seriously, my perfectionist tendencies were just going a little bit crazy at this point. So I do get rid of the windows. But if you have no problem looking at black and blue together, like, there's a time and a place for black and blue, but it's not on a Brooklyn townhouse. But if you have no problem with it, you can put them back in. But it just made me itch a little bit, which is probably why I normally use CC, so that I can just get black instead of... Do you know what? I'm going to personally recolor those windows myself. That's what I'm going to do. Just so that I can... Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I know it counts as CC, but hey, what are you going to do? I need to really get into recoloring as well, because there are so many things that are great in the game, but you just wish there was that like extra color swatch. And now I think I've skipped forward. The front of the building is going to change again, so don't get used to it, because I am totally indecisive, and I change it again. I got kind of really annoyed with this build, and I just stopped the recording. And then, of course, as soon as I stopped the recording, I go back to it, and I was like, oh yeah, and then it all works out. For some reason, when the camera's on, I just can't do it. But I'm really happy with this whole basement. This is the one thing I knew I wanted in this build from before I started building, was I knew there had to be a basement that you could walk out to, and this is it. And there's just fountains, and I can only imagine how great this would be in real life, if only. It does end up being really cool, and I raised up the hedges there so you can't see, but they're just floating in the air really. But just imagine it's a super tall hedge and everything. And I was going to put grass down here like that, but I end up doing it all kind of concrete. I just imagine there would just be no grass there. I think it's highly unlikely. But anyway, at the moment, of course, I am... Well, I say of course, but you may have never watched one of my videos before. As well as my eclectic phase, I'm going through my vertical garden loving phase. I had that back in the day of my... What was it? Seafood bistro. That was Sim Guru Kimi's challenge, and I discovered vertical gardens, and I'm obsessed. And that is just the tip of the iceberg. I want to do a whole build just with a vertical garden, because like, they give me life. They just look so good. Like, I can really imagine that in real life. It would look so much better. And I think I do put in some more different colours in there. I think I put red in there as well, just to break it up. And I think some flowers as well. So this is kind of looking a bit, modern, I suppose, at the moment. And I wasn't really going for super duper ultra modern. So I do change, I think, the flooring just to make it look a bit more like I didn't try. if that's a way to do it. And here we are, landscaping a bit. And I went for kind of just all whites, and this is the kind of... This area leads out from the, well, I could call it the party room. The downstairs of this townhouse. Oh my God, I don't know if you can hear this. There are seagulls outside, just so loud. Oh. Yeah. The downstairs is like a party atmosphere. There's, well, you'll see it in a bit, but it's the party atmosphere. It's not really a living area. It's more of an entertaining area, which is why it comes out into here. And I'm kind of a little bit obsessed with this outdoor area. Unfortunately, you can't get really good screenshots down here in the bottom. I don't know why, but yeah, I tried to do like in camera mode, like float down here, and you can't. You have to go down in the basement and then do tab mode. I don't know, it's just really weird. And I have successfully used that City Living planter, which is amazing, but really difficult to use in builds. Like the irregular shape just throws me off all the time. And of course I've now swapped out those are they perfect patio ones? Yeah, for just basic iron ones. You know, we don't try that hard. We don't have perfect furniture. We just have, you know, metal ones. If they could be a little bit rusty, maybe would it even be better. And here we are on the, well, is this a balcony? It's not a balcony, is it? Let's call it a terraced area. And the skylights are in there, and it will look down into the kitchen, and you'll see that later. So I have fixed all the outside. You haven't seen it, but you will see it in screenshots. And now we've moved on to the master bedroom. And I wasn't too sure. The thing is, they haven't got any kind of effortlessly trendy beds in this game. So, you know, I pushed this bed into the wall, and then you just have the headboard, so it looks a little bit less, I don't know, posh and well put together. But yeah, so I used my favorite flooring, which is the flooring that's from the Spooky Stuff pack. I used nothing else from that pack apart from the floors, because they are just amazing. And oh, just to like, I have got some new rugs, sorry, CC, I'm talking about CC, new rugs where they've rescaled those extra large rugs that were in the game. You know, those huge rugs that no one has a room big enough to fit? Yeah. And I almost used outdoor retreat stuff there, and that was banned from this collab, and I rescued it. So yeah. And then I was trying to make some kind of weird built-in headboard thing. Didn't quite work, but we used the table that's from, what was it, Get to Work? Which I don't know why, I don't think it's classed as a accent table, but it works perfectly as a bedside table, so. And those, what are they, like steel, what are they called? Really terrible at names today. I don't know, the steel decoration things, those that cost a bomb. I have no idea why they cost so much in the game, but they do. And graffiti and, you know, kind of alternative artwork will feature a lot in the house. So of course we've got Bob Pancakes there because he is like world famous, but no, we get rid of him. So it's just meant to kind of be posters here. You know, we don't have framed artwork here in this super cool, like, I'm too trendy house. So I envisioned this to be for a young successful couple, and they've just had their first kid, so there is a toddler bedroom in here, and they are in Brooklyn, and they are just so cool. I imagine like their job would be something creative, almost crafty, but not quite. Like, for some reason I imagine the guy in this that lives in this house would be like does welding for a living. I know it's a really weird one, but I just, for some reason, imagine the person that lives here to wear a leather apron, and you have to wear a leather apron when you do welding, and so that's why I think that or any kind of like heavy metal working or woodworking, you wear leather aprons, and I just see leather aprons and this house. I don't know why, but it's eclectic, and so there's stuff from any decade you want is all chucked in here, and those chairs from the vampire stuff pack, and I haven't managed to use them in a build yet, and I managed to fit them in here, I think like a couple times, and I'm obsessed a little bit with them because they are just so nice, and I think it makes this place look, I don't know, like the decor you think of when you think of an apothecary, that's kind of what I ended up going with. I sometimes start decorating with one style and then it kind of morphs into another one, but yeah, so it kind of just started off eclectic mix of stuff and then went kind of apothecary like, but yeah, of course, exposed clothing on the wall because they're so cool and trendy, and I've left this footage in for the master bathroom. I've cut out all the others because I have this love-hate relationship with bathrooms, and bathrooms aren't a fun place to be in The Sims. They always look the same, even with CC, they always look the same. There's just something about bathrooms. Dear Sims team, can we have more bathrooms? Because I really want them and really need them. And what can I say? So yeah, we still carry on being eclectic in here. Vampire pack, you definitely need it for this one. We've used all of the packs in this build, so you're going to need all of them. And I really wanted that to work, but in the end, I think in the screenshots you see, I had to remove those sinks from the worktop because they don't work. You cannot wash your hands in those. I was sure I'd done it before and it worked, but it doesn't. To make that work, you have to do a table instead of worktops. Like if I put a table under there, it would work perfectly. Why didn't I do a table? I should have just swapped it out. See, I told you I hate doing voiceovers because I see everything that's wrong with my build and everything I would change, and I'm like, it's already up on the gallery, I can't change it. So yeah, just in case you were wondering, it is already up on the gallery. It's been there for like a week or so, so download it now. My origin ID is hey_Harry, is it? Yeah, it is. And before I forget, okay, so this week on Twitter, I decided to just silently change from my usual kind of logo, H logo, to a picture of myself. And just in case you were wondering, I thought, baby steps to introducing you into my life, I'd just put my profile picture up on Twitter and just say nothing. So I did it, and I got some really interesting feedback about my voice versus my appearance. So if you are going to go over to Twitter to see what I actually look like, just in case you were even mildly interested, can you just, before you go over there, can you leave a comment down below of your prediction of what I look like? So you know how if you listen to someone's voice, you build up their image in your mind's eye? So please leave a comment down below what you think I'm going to look like if you do, before you go over to Twitter and look. And I want to know, I want to see how close you are to what I actually look like, because the feedback I got was absolutely hilarious and it made me giggle so much of what people saw me as versus what I do look like. So I like to giggle, so please leave me some more comments down below so that I can giggle at what you actually think I look like. Now, if you said I was like ginger and had freckles, that would be hilarious. So I'm just going to let you know now, I'm not ginger and I don't have freckles. So don't leave that as a suggestion, all right? Because you'll just be so wrong. But actually, if you did think I was ginger and had freckles, no, you can leave that comment. You can. But anyway, so back to the build again. We are doing a little study nook thing. It's really a hallway. But of course, we are, too cool for school, and we just have a art area in our hallway, because that's the standard thing. And you have a giant Chinese, stamp neon light, because you do. Also, I imagine what their job could be is they're like a old style vintage sign maker, which is really weird. It's because I discovered a company, because I work with signage. I discovered a company in London, and they just make handmade signage, and it's really big letters with lights inside and stuff, and that sign reminded me of that. So, and they wear leather aprons. You see where I'm going with this? So yeah, so we're moving on. This house has got 3 bedrooms, and that front bedroom does change. It's not going to stay as I kind of imagine them as spare bedrooms rather than actually. Wow, we are really paused. I don't know what I did at that point, but it wasn't build. I imagine them. The toddler bedroom, of course, they have a toddler. You wouldn't really have a spare bedroom with a toddler bed in it, would you? But this room here, I imagine to just be a spare bedroom. So not really particularly personal, but still decorated for anyone that wants to stay over. So I'm counting this as the spare bedroom. And we're paused again. Why? Naughty, naughty, naughty. Terrible editing. Oh well. And what is I don't think I've ever used that dresser before at all. Yeah, I don't even know what that's from, but I'm loving it. And also putting in a few industrial touches all over the place, so the lighting is kind of industrial. And it's just a mismatch. Not mismatch. What do you say when it's a jumble up of loads of stuff? Mishmash. Is that it? It's a mishmash of stuff. It's a very precise way. So now I think I've changed my mind. Yep, and I'm going for toddlerdom. Because no house is complete without a toddler room. Not they're only a toddler for how many days in the game? 6 or 7 days. So you can use this room for 6 or 7 days in your game, and then you're just gonna have to decorate it again. But toddler rooms look so cute. So, and I like using the wall decorations for them. So yeah, why am I paused again? What was I doing at this point? It's still going. What's happening? Why is it still? Oh, and we're back. Wow, I should have really watched this through to start off with, but man, this build took me forever to do. The other 2 builds have 3 floors. Actually, Dana's one, the Tudor, the German one, has 2 floors. Mine has 4 floors of furnishing to do. And, I'm not the fastest builder on a regular day. Never mind when you give me 4 floors to do. So I don't know what happened. Maybe I took a knock to the head. Something happened to me. Why I wanted to do 4 floors. I never learn. And also, I hear other people going oh my God, this build took me 2 hours. I'm 2 hours, I wish. I'm pretty sure this build must take me at least 4. Maybe more. The outside was pretty quick, considering. But yeah. Now we're moving on to the kitchen, and I've got to say, this is one of my favourite rooms in the house because there is that wall of glass, and you have the view down below, and you can see out, and it just looks pretty. And of course I had to use those like industrial worktops. I was going to go with the ones that you unlock. What are they? In like the culinary, oh god, can't speak, culinary career that you unlock, those kind of stainless steel ones, but a bit too much metal. So we went with these ones, which are, they're like super trendy. These are base game. They were on point with these ones. We just need a few more kitchen worktops, maybe. I think that if the Sims team just chucked in a couple more recolors for stuff we already have, I think we'd all shut up. Like, I'm not normally that negative because, you know, I'm someone that uses CC, so I don't really complain that much because I like using my CC. But there's some things I'm like, if I wanted to do a CC build, I just like all the options. Is it too much to ask for? I think it is, but oh well. Yeah, so the kitchen is pretty darn nice. What can I say? And I thought, of course, we've got loads of produce there in the corner because we only eat organic, darling. Yeah, only organic because we are super hipster, trendy, and only organic will do. And we shop in Whole Foods exclusively. There is no other food that goes in, so they have all this produce from Whole Foods in the corner, just ready. Or maybe they go to like the local market or something. Is there like a farmer's market? Do they have a farmer's market in America? Do they have farmer's markets in like New York? I don't know, but I'm just gonna say they do. And we did like a little what do you call that, a pantry or a larder there, and we put in a bar area because they are entertainers, I think, in this house, and I am forever trying to use that bit of decor, that fan thing. I end up using it in the living room, but I did try and use it here, and you know, because we're eclectic and we're just gonna chuck in a Chinese like painting. No, is it Japanese? It's cherry blossom. I'm going to say Japanese. I don't know. I always get them mixed up. I'm so bad at this. I should really research stuff a bit more. And I am using those chairs again. I'm obsessed with them for the dining table. They're like stone carved ones. And I just imagine the people that lived here will be cultured. Yeah, not only are they like organic, creative, hipster, they're cultured, and they have things from all over the world here. Like, I imagine those rugs come from Morocco. You know, when they were traveling, they brought back rugs, that kind of stuff. And Mr. Fan on the wall is going to move because he has to, because he looks awful there. So move, and we're going to replace it with a fireplace instead. And I've paused again. This is so bad. So unprofessional, but well, you don't come to me for professionalism, you just come for me for babbling. And oh, before I forget, I've changed up the ending to my video today. I have put music over the screenshots. I normally just talk, which I'm sure by now you're saying like, shut up, I don't need to hear you talk anymore. But oh yes, and I added these in. I used that on my futuristic build, the plant pots in the tables so that they look like table legs. The table does work. It works perfectly. So bonus. And it looks good. Winning. Oh, and you see that sign from the bowling pack as well. That is the kind of stuff I imagine that the people that live here make. Yeah. Like, they met at work. I've got this whole story. So they met at work, and they're just like the dream couple, you know. They probably take their toddler into work with them as well, you know, because they own the business. Yeah, I feel like they own the business now. They met at work, got together, got married, set up their own business, and now they can just bring their kid into work. They also have a dog. yeah, I've done that. They also have a dog that they bring into work as well. That's just who I imagine. And I've never seen those lights before in my life, but they look perfect. Oh, and the artwork on the wall there is so obviously the Brooklyn Bridge, and I was like, oh, if there is anything that has to go in this house, it is that, because I'm meant to kind of be doing a Brooklyn townhouse. And so here I'm kind of just working out what sofas can possibly go in there. Yet again, I wish this sofa came in a two square wide version. I do have a CC version that is 2 squares wide, which is a lifesaver. But again, I wish it was just an in-game thing. Like, if I don't have to use CC, I won't. But it's necessary for many reasons. So yeah, and we have just a church like pew in the hallway, and this is what I'm now obsessed with. So with Get to Work came all of these metal filing cabinets, and also there's a bookcase as well. See that one there is a bigger one, and they have a metal bookcase which I'm going to use in a future build that I've already done. And I was like, I didn't know these existed, and they look so cool. They're just metal cabinets, and while I'm on my eclectic phase, they just match in perfectly. And I'm thankful that I did the CC free build so that I could find more stuff that I like. It's a very precise way of saying it, but you know. So, oh yes, before I forget, I almost forgot the fridge. So if you're going, there's no fridge, just in case you're wondering, Pineapple forgot to put a fridge in hers, and I almost forgot on this one, but I didn't. So I made sure to keep that footage in. The only reason I realised I didn't have a fridge was because I wanted to put the plant on top of the fridge, and then I went into the kitchen and there was no fridge to put the plant pot on top of, and I was like, oops. So that is the only reason I caught myself having not put the fridge in. So I rescued it. And now this downstairs area is like the entertaining area. We're going to have a DJ booth. Is it a DJ booth? Yeah. And karaoke and piano. So it's basically music. It's a music room, isn't it? But it's a chill out area. I imagine they throw parties down here. Well, you know, they're so hipster, trendy. It's not a party. It's, what is it? It's just a hangout. That's what it is. Of course. And I use those dine out curtains because I love them. That's one thing actually I wish we had more of, was curtains in this game. Like, I love those if they had those, but they were closed versions and not so wide. That would be great. Please and thank you. I think I've already changed the outside. I don't know if I cut that out or something, but I think I've already changed the outside to concrete instead. And I used the whole, what was it, show hidden objects to get those not paintings, the photos that you take of the gourmet meals and everything. So I think they work well. And that is one thing in the game, you're always trying to find new artwork to put on the wall, because same old stuff, different day doesn't quite work. And now we're just adding in a bar area. I think we may be nearly done. So yeah, if I didn't say this already, I think I probably have. This is up on the gallery now for download, and you can download it now, and also would advise downloading it when it's complete and it's got all 6 of them. And I'm really interested to know how much this lot is going to be worth, because I think just my build alone, I doubled the lot worth. I think it's up to 300,000, or is it 600,000? I can't remember. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, and now I'm going to leave you with some super chill music to get you through these screenshots. So until next time, bye guys!